Want to talk about universal perceptions, living your highest vibration. Let's talk about what that means. It, what it means is that you access your superconscious mastermind. You have a superconscious mastermind. This is an expanded state of awareness. This is beyond your physical reality and looking at universal consciousness. It's universal perceptions, the superconscious mastermind. When you access this, excuse me, when you access this, what you're doing is you're going beyond ordinary perceptions. You're accessing insights and intuition. You're open to hear new things. You're open minded. Your energy is calm and peaceful. It's a much deeper, profound intelligence. It's tapping into universal level. Universal level is expanded consciousness that includes universal wisdom. In other words, you must do this with a vibration. You do it with energy. This is how you tap into intuitive wisdom. You have a heightened sense of sensitivity. You feel interconnected to everything because you understand that everything's a vibration, everything's connected, everything shares information with everything, but it shares it with a vibration, not with common sense, not with using your five senses. It's all energetic. It's something that it happens internally. It's a much wider view. You can see the patterns and connections in everything. You can perceive and be aware of the grand design of the universe. You understand the underlying content, currents of the universe. The underlying currents of the universe is that it's in a constant state of change, a constant state of change, always expanding organically, like attracts like. And the way that works is with vibration. So your vibration attracts other vibrations. Notice that anything good that happens in your life, if you stop right now and think about something really, a special event in your life that happened, you're going to think about how you felt about the vibration of it. Along with this, the impact of holding this wider view, the universal perception, it has a tremendous impact on your outlook on life. A problem becomes an opportunity. Relationships are energetic dances. Think about the relationships that you have. You speak, but there's energy involved. The energy is what really determines the relationship. A challenge, something that's unknown, becomes an invitation for you to expand and learn more. The whole framework of your existence shifts. You move from reaction to creation. And if you take the word reaction and you move it to the front, move the C out of reaction and put it on the front of the word, it becomes creation. So you become a powerful co creator of your life. It brings you calm, clarity, and control. These are facts. This is the way energy works. When we compare that to the contrast of holding a narrow perspectives are profound choices. It's not using intellectual superiority. It's all the difference in the energetic alignment. You keep yourself in a very narrow landscape, very narrow. By having this open mind and gaining this universal perfection, to increase your vibration significantly. There's more growth and transformation. You go beyond your intellectual understanding. You get those gut feelings. It's a reorientation of who you're being. You go from surviving to thriving. You have a greater capacity for joy, love, and fulfillment. You're operating from a higher vibration. You attract more opportunities. You shed the old limitations like lack, for instance, not being good enough, betrayal, judgment, blame, shame, and guilt. Those all block vibrations. We want to operate from a higher vibration. We want to attract opportunities to us. We want to embrace our authentic self. Our authentic self is energetic. This way, we can consciously create life. When you look at the limited or restricted worldview that people typically have, it comes from fear. Anything you're looking at in your physical reality typically is fear based because our physical reality is about lack of clarity, hard work, and suffering. It's controlled by our past conditioning, what we've learned. You just have a lack of awareness when you're doing that of having an inner power. But your inner power is what you allows you to connect to universal perspectives and raise your vibration significantly. You're living when you're in just the physical in this very confined valley metaphor. You live deep in a valley with mountains around you and you have a very narrow view. The characteristics of it: shorter, rigid opinions, less room for nuance and coincidence. Briefly, your beliefs are tightly held with a protective shield. You have resistance to challenge. You're clinging to what is perceived as owned. The protective nature of clinging to things is in the narrow landscape. You have fear of losing it. It demands that you have a defensive posture. You'll erect energetic walls to protect yourself. It's difficult for new ideas, opportunities, and connections to happen. You'll see a threat where no threat exists. But because of your fear, you're going to perceive it that way. You interpret others inappropriately. This all stems from insecurity to protect what meager resources you already have. When you look at this valley mentality I was talking about, a line of sight that's restricted, you're bounded by past experience, info, and fears. You believe that what is all there is. And there's an underestimation and elimination of possibilities in your life. It hinders your personal growth. The cycle of protecting stifles evolution. Your understanding stagnates. Your rigidity gains strength. Opportunities are missed and pushed away. You're trapped in this repetitive loop. Complete lack of awareness of the tools that you have to live life. Total lack of awareness. When you get triggered by authentic living, you're expressing your hopes and dreams. You live with an eclectic lifestyle home. You have a different reality because it's non fear based. And it's a painful reminder for people who have stopped dreaming. You manifest, excuse me, you manifest your inner freedom. It's very unsettling if you cling to being conventional and protecting yourself. It's just being. It's not about showing off or ego. It's just being. The impact that it will have on your interactions with others in social settings, there'll be misunderstanding or strained friendships. They'll pull away because they'll think you're a dreamer. But the truth of the matter is energy that creates peace, love, joy, and fulfillment. They might interpret your passion as arrogance, or your clarity as judgment, or your abundance as a slight to them because they're not abundant. In business, there's resistance to ideas, lack of faith, and sabotage that happens when you're not in this alignment. You suppress your authentic self and it diminishes your vibration. It lowers your vibration. So keep that in mind. Stay away from the inferiority complex. What you really want to do is just focus on having a universal perception where you're living your highest vibration. This is the difference between surviving and thriving. Surviving is having a physical life where you only work with your five senses, or thriving where you're working with multi-sensory senses. In other words, we have many resources and things available to us energetically. You have to explore to find out what those are, but it requires being peaceful and calm and loving to tap into it. I'm Bill Heinrich with True Life Purpose Now. If you want to hear more about this, you can go to my private Facebook group, or if you'd like to meet with me, go to speaktobill.com and get an appointment on my calendar.